An opinion on the internet? Nah, we can't let this happen. No way! I will not stand for this! Ranking the best Dragon Ball Z games of all time. What does GameSpot even know? Let me call my friends real fast. I feel like my friends know better than GameSpot.
Hello?
Why is it every time I call you, you're super HD in my phone?
That's a good question.
We're not gonna talk about the science behind that. This,
That's what it is.
ooh, okay, you just set me up. You just set me up. Look, I have a very, very important question that's more important than technology and Android. What is the best Dragon Ball game of all time growing up for you?
I gotta say Budokai 3. As a kid, that was like mind-blowing.
I respect it.
A game hasn't done that to me like that.
I hope this man's answer does not disappoint me.
Hello?
All right, I need to know, what is the best Dragon Ball game of all time to you? To you. To you. This is on the video.
Oh, Budokai 3.
I'm so happy you don't even go for the meme. I was like, if this man even for a joke says Dokkan, I'm hanging up. But I respect that. Is there a reason why, specifically Budokai 3?
I don't know, that game is just the one that always comes to mind. Specifically, I'd probably be Infinite World if I really truly sat and thought about it. Because just the better Budokai 3, but Budokai 3.
Okay, I respect it.
Why are you calling me?
Shut up, listen, this is more important than what year it is or what you're currently doing. What is the best Dragon Ball game of all time?
I mean, if I don't know, I go back and forth. I mean, I would probably personally say Xenoverse 2.
Okay.
It would either be that or Tenkaichi 3.
Okay, is there a reason why?
I don't know, amount of fun playing it, characters available, systems input into the game, the support for the games.
Nice and simple, right to the point. Okay.
Yo, what's up?
Okay, I got an important question for you. And I need you to really think this through before you answer it. What is the best, and this is to you. I don't care what anyone says, but to you, what is the best Dragon Ball game of all time?
DBFZ.
Wow, that was fast, and why?
Because I have 1,000 hours in DBFZ.
What did you grow up with?
So I grew up with, I think the first Dragon Ball, well, okay, this doesn't actually count, but the first Dragon Ball game I owned was Sagas. Nobody's gonna say Sagas. The good Dragon Ball games that I grew up with were Legacy of Goku and Budokai Tenkaichi games. I didn't play the Budokai games until later.
The reason why I asked is
Tenkaichi 2 and 3.
you were the first person who I called that didn't go for the nostalgia factor and went straight for DBFZ. Because everybody else, like, the game you grew up with, you're always going to choose. But you were the first person to choose DBFZ. I respect it. I appreciate that. I already know what I'm asking you because I already know what your answer is going to be. What is the best Dragon Ball game of all time?
Of all time?
Just to you.
It's honestly a toss-up. I don't know. I'd go 1A, 1B. Like
Now, one. You get one.
Bro, I don't know. Xenoverse or fucking Fighters. I don't know. It depends on my
You have to
mood,
pick. You gotta pick one. That's the whole point.
I guess I would lead. Man, Fighters is such a good game, but I feel like Xenoverse captures the way Dragon Ball fights are. Like, you know, all 3D and all that shit with... You know, it's just so poorly balanced. Fighters is a better game.
Right.
The Xenoverse is like the better Dragon Ball game, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, are you making a video? It might be gonna be.
Yeah, you're in the video.
Yeah,
Like I said, I already know why I answered you.
Everybody hit the like button.
I know why I called you because I knew what you were gonna go for. But you know what? I'm just trying to, call a couple friends.
Fighters is a better game, but like Dragon Ball game, it's funny because I'm also recording a video right now, so this is like mindfuck.
No way! Yeah, and the other thing I was gonna ask you, I hung up on him. All right, now that I got all my rage out and spoke out before I actually read the article or the list, let's actually look at this. We'll start in the bottom up, and then we'll basically see if we agree or disagree. Number 10 on this list, Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. I'll be honest with you, when I was a kid, I only got a game maybe once a year. And I had gotten a Nintendo DS, but I never got a chance to play this game. Because, again, I was limited to only getting one game per year. And when I first saw Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans, it wasn't my kind of game I wanted to play. I'd rather play, like, the fighting aspect of the game. So, Super Sonic Warriors, for example. I'll play the Legacy Goku series. The Budokai games. I like those way more. So, I never actually got a chance to play this. I can't speak on it. But I do know that everybody speaks on this game. Now, I'm willing to bet when we go up this list, we're not going to see Dragon Ball Fusions. So, for me, I wouldn't mind if Fusions was maybe 10 on the list, because Dragon Ball Fusions is a very underrated game. By the way, at any point in this video, I want you guys to let me know your list down below. And if you want to keep it simple, do your top 3 favorite Dragon Ball games of all time. If you want to do a full 10, go for it. Feel free to just have a war in the comment section, but be nice to each other. If one person prefers one game or the other, they're not wrong. They just like that better. All right, number 9, Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit. I feel like Burst Limit is going to hurt me. I'm happy that it's in the top 10. But I think it's going to hurt me because of what else is possible on the list. Because Burst Limit to me was a great game. The only thing that hurt Burst Limit was the fact that the game wasn't finished. In case you guys didn't know, Burst Limit literally was like rushed. They never got past the Cell Saga. There's even animations and models in the game that were implying that there's more past the Cell Saga, and they just never got to it. I feel like if they ever finish Burst Limit, it will be a really, really good game and definitely a higher end of the list. But because it never got finished, I will put it in the bottom side of my top 10. Number 8, Dragon Ball Z Supersonic Warriors.
Huh?
Wasn't Supersonic Warriors better, or Supersonic Warriors 2 better than the first one? Now, don't get me wrong, I played the hell out of Dragon Ball Z Supersonic Warriors in the Game Boy. I loved it. I loved just hopping into training mode where we both had infinite health, cranking up the CPU to the highest difficulty, and just playing for hours. I was that kid. But Supersonic Warriors is an interesting one. Let's keep going up the list, and then we'll kind of like discuss what we should remove and move up and down. Number 7, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Oof. That oof is because I feel like it should be higher on this list. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I'm like one of the people that really stands by this game, and I think Dragon Ball Z Kakarot was fantastic. It's just a good game. It obviously was missing on a couple things. You know, they didn't have a couple infamous scenes, which, you know, to this day, people will swear that that one scene being left out ruins the game forever. But let's not pretend like when they had all the other iconic scenes in the game, they weren't fire. The game looked great. It was a very bonus RPG, and if they ever do a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot 2, or I guess the Dragon Ball Super Kakarot, and they improve on what they've already built, it would be a fantastic game. But as a simulator, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot was it. I don't care what anyone says. It's a good game. Number 6 is going to cause controversy. Raging Blast. Now, I noticed that I see number 5 specifically lists series, so I assume it's saying Raging Blast 1 is referring to Raging Blast 1 over 2, to which I hard agree. Now, you guys know my stance on Raging Blast. I was not the biggest fan of the Raging Blast series because, to me, Raging Blast all was a dumbed down, easier version of Tenkaichi. It is what it is. They even literally made Raging Blast as an easier version of Tenkaichi because people like originally complained that Tenkaichi was too hard. I'm not even kidding. That's exactly what birthed Raging Blast. Is they literally wanted to make an easier version of Tenkaichi. Tenkaichi looked great, and I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't have thousands of hours in that game. But when you compare Raging Blast 1 versus 2, it's night and day. Raging Blast 1 is just way better. Comment section below if you're a Raging Blast kid. Let me know if you guys prefer 1 or 2 or 2 over 1 better. Because Raging Blast 1 to me was just way better. Number 5. Now this is the part that I don't like. Not because of what they chose, but how they did it. Dragon Ball Z, the Legacy of Goku series. This is 3 games. You can't do that. You have to pick. You have to pick. You can't just say 3 games in 1. Dragon Ball Z Legacy Goku was a goated series on the Game Boy. But let's not pretend like Legacy Goku 1 wasn't hot ass. Legacy Goku 1 was garbage. Legacy Goku was fun. And playing Legacy Goku as a kid, I remember I loved it. Even though it was a garbage game, it was fun. But then they released Legacy of Goku 2 and Blue's Fury, and they completely shat on Legacy of Goku 1 as far as quality. I have never seen a game improve that much since Tenkaichi 1 to Tenkaichi 2. Legacy Goku 2 and 3 are really, really good games. But it is cheating to put Legacy Goku as a series, because it's 3 games in 1. You can't do that. GameSpot, you can't do that. I loved Legacy Goku 2 better than 3, Blue's Fury. But I know everybody that played Blue's Fury will always choose that over 2. And I love the fact that the Legacy Goku series was so good that they released a sequel, and the sequel, it only got better. To me, I only prefer 2 over 3 just because I like the Cell Saga stuff way more, especially growing up as a kid. But Blue's Fury was fantastic. All the extra stuff that they had in the game and then train up all the characters. Just being able to choose a character you want to play as in 2 and 3 and then transform it was just really hyped to me. So definitely, I hard agree keeping Legacy Goku as a 5, but I would choose Legacy Goku 2 instead of a series because I feel like choosing all 3 is just it's cheating. Number 4. All right, now this is where we're gonna get really, really heated, and this is where all the debates are gonna start popping up. Number 4, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. This is the game that had the closest spot to my heart growing up because as a kid, having a arena fighter that really captured the speed and essence of Dragon Ball, Tenkaichi 3 was it. I remember me and my friends, Jane and Tassie, who I went to college with, we spent so much time playing that. We would literally come back from class, run home, just so we can play for hours and hours and hours. And that was basically what we did every single day for the entire time in college. We would get mad at each other, not talking to each other for like a whole week after one person would choose the broken character, like for example, second form Cell, and then do that stupid infinite health loop where you just keep like doing the health absorption. Or, you know, you get angry and you pick the characters that have the unblockable ultimates like Father Son Kamehameha Gohan or the Spirit Bomb Goku. The game was great, but number 4 is interesting. But now that I'm kind of like seeing what's at the top of the list, I see why they did it. Do I put that as number 4? We'll talk about the numbers and my placements afterwards. Number 3, Xenoverse 2. Hard agree. Hard agree. Hard agree that it should be on this list. I don't care what you think about Xenoverse 3, what you say about Xenoverse 3. It is a really, really good game. It is what it is. Xenoverse is a fantastic series. It's good. It's obviously not perfectly balanced. It's got issues, and netcode can ruin the experience at times. I'm literally a walking example of somebody who loves and hates that game. I love that game until I had that one match online where you get punched from half across the map, and then you hate it. But I also understand that Xenoverse 2 as a game was perfect as far as everything that we got. We got so much content, so much DLC. You get to create yourself. Xenoverse 1 was a good bridge to what the Xenoverse series was, but Xenoverse 1 was ass. But when they released 2, the amount of improvements I saw in that game was insane. Hard agreed to be on this list. Number 2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. I don't think anyone will disagree with this. Maybe the placement, sure, but Budokai 3 definitely deserves to be on this list. However, I have something I want to say about that, which I'll get to once we start actually going through the numbers. And number 1, Dragon Ball FighterZ. This is going to cause a lot of controversy because I feel like people either love FighterZ or they absolutely hate it. There's no in between. There's no in between. Should it be number 1? I don't know. Let me tell you my placements, okay? I would honestly move Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 to number 1. 100%. The reason why is because growing up, what an anime fighter is, I always think of like the 3D arena fighters. And Dragon Ball Xenoverse perfectly captured it. Not only do you get to be in the game, it had a great story. It was original. I mean, I wouldn't say great. It's debatable. But, you know, them trying something new, I think they nailed it. It was cool. The introducing the whole time patrol aspect was really dope. You get to be yourself. You get to customize your character. The amount of content that this game has is insane. And I, for one, I can tell you, I have a lot of hours in this game. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, for what a Dragon Ball game should be, is perfect as a game. Obviously, there's issues. There's netcode problems. There's crazy balance issues. You get hit once, you explode, you die, you get angry. But for what it is, Xenoverse 2 is like the perfect idea. Let's call it idea for a Dragon Ball game. Could it be better? Absolutely. If they ever do Xenoverse 3, it'd be fantastic. All you gotta do is take Xenoverse 2 and improve on it, and you have the perfect game. But for what it is, it's great. A hard number 2 for me, FighterZ. FighterZ is like the first real fighting game. Well, let me not say first, because there's Super Dragon Ball Z. But I'll be honest with you, growing up, I never really liked Super Dragon Ball Z. For me, Dragon Ball FighterZ was it. It was easy to pick up. As Swag said in the video, he has thousands of hours in the game, and that's only just playing the online aspect of it, or just, you know, labbing the characters. Dragon Ball FighterZ hurts as far as other content, which I feel like is why the game wasn't as popular with like the hardcore casual. Story mode was awful. I think story mode wise, it's one of the worst Dragon Ball games of all time, because that story mode was hot ass. And that says a lot considering you get one of the coolest characters of all time, Angel 21. I don't know how you messed that up. It's like all their budget went into making the game fun, and then 0% went into like having a good story. Like they could have done way better with that. But again, you don't get fighting games for the story. No one does that. But Dragon Ball FighterZ as a fighting game was fantastic. Number 3 on my list will be definitely Tenkaichi 3. And the reason why, as I said, is I grew up with that way more. I resonated with the 3D games way more. But honestly, I wouldn't even do Tenkaichi 3. I would toss Tenkaichi 3 out and bring in Tenkaichi 2. Because I'm going to say it. As I said in the beginning of the video, I think Tenkaichi 2 is a way better game than Tenkaichi 3. It is what it is. I said what I said. Right after that, Budokai 3, sort of. But I would replace it with Infinite World. I think Infinite World is just a better version of Budokai 3. They obviously took content away, which you can debate why it should be Budokai 3 over Infinite World. But Infinite World, it gave me what I wanted from a 2D aspect Dragon Ball game. And easy for that, I would choose that over Budokai 3 anytime. Not to say I hate Budokai 3. I love Budokai 3. Again, as Afro said in the beginning of the video, I grew up under it. It's a perfect game as well. But like, Infinite World just gave me what I wanted as a Dragon Ball fan, and because of that, I would choose that over 3. And now we kind of go down the list where it's like the second half. I would definitely put Legacy Goku 2 as number 5, like I said. I would move Kakarot to, move Kakarot to the number 6 spot. Because again, it was a different experience, it was something cool, and it's a Dragon Ball game that I always dreamed of as a kid. Raging Blast, again, I was not the biggest fan, but I'm not going to pretend like I didn't play a lot of it. So I would probably leave Raging Blast in the 7 range. And then I will move Burst Limit up to number 8. Burst Limit was great. Like I said, the only thing that held Burst Limit back was the fact that it never got finished. Number 9, this is where it gets interesting because I don't think I want to put Supersonic Warriors or Attack of the Saiyans on the list. So what I'm gonna actually do is for number 9, for myself, I would say Dragon Ball Fusions. Because Dragon Ball Fusions was fantastic. If they ever do a Fusions 2 or they ever remake Fusions on the Switch, I feel like it would expand the fan base of their game so much more. Again, when you have a game that's released only on one platform, in this case the Nintendo DS, the 3DS, it's very limited to how many people can play. It's not pretend like that 3DS wasn't one of the best-selling handhelds of all time, but I feel like Fusions, because it was just on one platform, it was not played by everybody. But if you do have a 3DS, I highly recommend check out Fusions. It's a lot of fun. You'll spend hours and hours in it, and it was so unique that I feel like it needs a sequel. And now that brings us to the last slot, number 10. What would I put on my number 10 slot? You know what? I know exactly what I put in the slot, and a lot of you guys probably never experienced this game. Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimension. Hyper Dimension was like the most ridiculous game I ever saw as a kid. And that was back when we didn't have like any drama games yet. I remember I had to find it online and play it through like ROMs and stuff. But it was a game that was exclusively released in Japan. It had like, what, 5-6 characters. It was like a very, very small roster. But for a Super Nintendo game, it looked insane. I feel like Hyper Dimension not being released in the rest of the world is a major crime, and if you never got to experience that game, I highly recommend it. But it's funny, like looking back at it, because it was a Super Nintendo, there was a lot of limitations with how much you can do in it, and the story mode and how they did everything didn't really work well. But once you actually got into the fight scenes, especially if you played against your friends, it was a good game. So definitely, I would probably put Hyper Dimension as number 10 on this list. So yeah. Okay, that's my list. So this is going to be interesting. Let me know in the comment section below what your list looks like and what you think about overall with this debate. I'm curious to see what everyone's going to say. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the comment section below. Peace.